Donald Trump will be kept off Facebook, at least for now. Our senior Washington editor, Lindsay Duncombe, is in Washington today, and she has been reading through this decision, this much-anticipated decision, Lindsay, from Facebook's Oversight Board. Tell us more on what it has ruled.
Well, it has ruled that Donald Trump cannot have a Facebook or an Instagram account because of the posts that he made following the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. But this Oversight Board is also critical of Facebook at the same time, criticizing the idea of an indefinite penalty and saying that Facebook needs to review this decision and make a further call on whether or not the former president should be reinstated in 6 months' time. Here's some of what the ruling it said. In applying a vague, standardless penalty and then referring this case to the board to resolve, Facebook seeks to avoid its responsibilities. The board declines Facebook's request and insists that Facebook apply and justify a defined penalty. So now this throws the realm of Facebook and also other social media companies as to what to do with problematic posts from influential posters, from political leaders, and really forces them to make a more concrete policy. The specific posts that were problematic in this case, the board says were indeed justified for taking Donald Trump off the platforms. They identify what those posts were. Two of them severely violated the content rules for inciting violence. They included the fact that Donald Trump said to the people as the insurrection or just after the insurrecting activity was happening that we love you and you're very special. So what the board is saying, yes, that is something that violates content, but when it comes to determining whether or not that should mean the former president can never be on these platforms, it's up to Facebook to decide.
Okay, so indefinite, not appropriate, has to have some defined penalty. What about Donald Trump himself, the former president? Any reaction to what the Oversight Board has decided?
There is nothing yet on his blog, which is what Donald Trump launched yesterday, perhaps in making a preemptive platform for the ability to share his messages. I think in some ways the fact that this is open-ended will be viewed as a victory for this fight to continue. What it does is really make more questions around who has the power to decide content on these platforms. There's also criticism or questions about this board because it is independent. Mark Zuckerberg has described it as the Supreme Court when it comes to these kinds of questions, but it's also all appointed, these members of the board, by Facebook. So ultimately, the power goes back to the company.
Lindsay, there's going to be much reaction to this over the course of the day, but thank you, and we'll be listening as you bring us more of that detail. Thanks for the breaking news out of Washington. Lindsay Duncombe there this morning.